Hello everyone, I'm here to do another weekly reads, and this week actually I had quite a lot of time to sit and read, and it was a relatively chill week compared to other weeks. And I had also the frame of mind to focus, so luckily I was able to read quite a bit. So yeah, I thought I would just go through the books that I was able to read. Let's just start with the physical books, and then I can talk about the audiobooks. So the first book I finished was The Unhabitable Earth by David Wallace-Ells, and this was a reread for me. This was my reread for the month, and it is about basically climate change, but not so much. I mean, it has some politics in it, but it's more about the science of it. So it's divided in chapters that tackle how different things are going to change. So it has two parts. The first part focuses on the different aspects of the climate and how each of them will change with increasingly high average temperature. So, for example, the sea level and how much is going to rise depending on how much the temperature increase, if it's 2 degrees or 3 degrees or whatever, or droughts or the access to clean water, things like that. And then on the second part, it looks more about what those natural changes are going to, how they are going to impact humans, like our economy and our health and things like that. And it goes quite a lot into the science. I didn't find it particularly difficult to follow. I mean, I have read it before, but still, I think it was relatively easy science in terms of the level of explanation. I did find the second part a little bit more scattered than the first one. I guess it's the nature of the problem as well, that because obviously climate change is a very complex issue, so things interact with everything, and it's very difficult to put it in boxes, let's say. But I think that it was still successful most of the time to do that. And yeah, I mean, it's a quite grim picture of what's gonna happen, but as I said before when I read it the first time, I think that it also gives hope that, I mean, there are some things that are inevitably going to happen because we are already too far gone, but it doesn't mean that what we do now is not going to have any consequence. So even if we are already going to reach the 2 or 3 degrees of warming, um, it's still worth to try to use more renewable energies and stop using cars and I don't know, change our diets and pressure our politicians to make something out of all of this, because then that might mean that we don't reach the 4 or the 5 or the 6 degrees warmer, which it's a lot more scary than 3, let's say. So yeah, I enjoyed that quite a lot. I think it's a valuable book for everyone to read and understand, and hopefully panic a little bit and move to take action on these things, because I think it's an important issue. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I think also that now the second time around I did appreciate it more because everything sounded familiar and I know what it was going to do, so it was easier for me to absorb the information of the book. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. The next one I finished is The Sweetness of Water, and this was a Booker long-listed book, so I have a review for it up that I will link somewhere. But yeah, this one for me was a bit of a dud. It was boring, the story was nothing new, nothing was really developed that well, the pacing was a bit all over the place, so yeah, for me that one was not the best. But yeah, at least it's one less that I have to read from the long list, so that's good. I read A Town Called SOS by Mary Lawson, I think, and that one was a very enjoyable book, but I don't know how special it is to be in the long list or the short list of the Booker. But I will also talk more about that one in a review that is coming soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And then the last one that I finished in physical form was Inferno by Catherine Cho, which I read for the BookTube prize. So I'm judging that one and I cannot talk about that one, but basically that one is about the experience. It's a memoir with postpartum psychosis. And yeah, and then I also finished one audiobook, and that's Light Perpetual by Francis Beaufort, which again was another Booker book. I have been trying to make progress in my Booker long list for this time. And Light Perpetual was an interesting one because I love the audiobook and I love the writing style of the author, but the premise was just a little bit of what is he trying to do? He's not doing it well, whatever he's trying to do, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, that was that. I also have a review for that up, so you can check that out. So you can check that out if you want as well. But yeah, that one was a weird one because when I was reading it, I was enjoying it. But then when I stopped, I was like, what is this about? I don't even know. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I am currently reading 3 books, which is again not my usual. I don't like to read more than 1 or 2 books at a time, but because there are so many projects going on this month, that's just what happens. So let's start with the first one that we have seen here for many times, Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. I'm in page 455, so I have to read another 35 pages today to be catch up with this, but I'm getting close to the halfway point. So yeah, and I'm really enjoying it again. I think I will prefer to have a bit more focus on this so that I can really remember and focus on all the characters, but at the same time this is a big book to just read by itself. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I want to read more of it, and I'm enjoying also the discussions we're having with my buddy readers because I'm reading this with Jyotsna, Ash and Loren. I'm also reading Familiar Things by Hwang Sok-yong for the Invisible Cities project for South Korea. This one is about a son and his mom living in slum in Seoul, and they basically take trash out to recycle, and that's how they make their living. I'm only 25% in, so I don't have a ton of thoughts to say yet, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's nothing like I've read before from South Korea because I have never read from the lower classes in slums in South Korea before, so this is interesting. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's very short, so I'm hoping to finish it soon and I can then make a video about South Korea for the Invisible Cities project for this month. And then the last book I'm reading is The Prettiest Star by Carter Sickels, which I'm reading in audiobook, and I'm almost done with it. I have less than 2 hours to go from the audiobook, I think. And I'm reading this one because it's in the final of the BookTube prize in the fiction category, but I'm not judging fiction, so I can talk about it, which is great, because I'm quite enjoying it. I was not sure if I was going to like it. The things that I had heard from it didn't feel like something I will naturally strive towards, but I'm really enjoying it. This one follows, basically we have 3 perspectives. There is this boy or man, I think he's 24 or something like that, and he's gay in the 80s, in some small place in Ohio, but he moved to New York because he's gay and that's not accepted in his community, and then he got AIDS, so now he's dying from AIDS, so he went back, and it's sort of how the town reacts to him being back and having AIDS, and how discriminatory they can be. And as I said, we follow his perspective, but also the perspective of his sister and his mom. and how the characters evolve based on what happens, and how he's feeling, and how the prejudices of society can interact with the love for someone that is part of your family, and how these things about being gay and having AIDS affect the family, and also how they affect the whole community. And as I said, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's very engaging the way that it's written and the way the story is constructed. So yeah, I will report back when I finish it, but so far it's a great read. So yeah, those are the things that I'm reading at the moment. Um, so yeah, I will have to catch up with A Suitable Boy and finish the other 2 books, but I don't think that's gonna take me very long. And then I think I will go back to my Booker longlist project, because none of them are incredibly long. I think at least none of the ones that I have left. I think I might be able to read most of them before the shortlist is announced. We will see. It's announced on the 14th of September. So I have almost a month, and I have, I think, I don't know, 7 books left or something like that. So we will see. I mean, Bewilderment by Richard Powers doesn't come out before the shortlist, so I'm not going to be able to read that one. And Clara and the Sun, I'm still waiting for forever from the library, so we will see if I read that before that. But the rest I have available, and maybe I will be able to read all of those. I think I have 4 or 5 waiting for me. So hopefully I can do that, maybe. I will try. And also the other thing that I want to read is After the Last Border, which is for the BookTube prize, for my judging of the BookTube prize, because right now I have 2 books left for the BookTube prize, After the Last Border and Red Comet. But Red Comet is more than 1,000 pages. So if I can have After the Last Border finish before September, then I can focus on Red Comet in September. That will be great. So yeah, those are my plans for now. Let's see how I go with them. Let me know what you have been reading this week. If you have been reading Booker longlist books. So far for me, it has been a little bit of a that, most of them. But I think I'm saving the best ones for last. So I have my hopes high for the rest ones. And yeah, let me know how your reading is going, how your week is going, and until next video, bye!